Hello, this is PalicoPadge and welcome to an episode of Talking and Trucking where I fill you in on what's been going on in my life, anything which I think you may need to know, and we play a little bit of the old American Truck Simulator in the background. Now, usually I would have the footage recorded already and I would know what the first thing would be, which is the theme I like to run throughout these videos, the first thing which I've done in either game or in my life, to be able to say this is the first thing I've done and therefore have a bit of context to all my different trucking videos. However, I haven't had time to record it yet, so I'm doing this on a whim. I'm doing this off the cuff. So this is the first time I've ever recorded the audio before I've done the video part of a vlog, as it were. And it's been a while. It's been a while since we've done it. Things have happened. Things are happening. And I think it's about time I sat down and sort of laid it all out in front of you, just to let you know what's going on in the very near future, leading into the far future. So, where do we start? Well, you've probably realised, you've probably seen that I'm not as regular with my videos as I used to be, and this is something which troubles me quite a lot. I used to, once upon a time, pre-baby, upload and have a video out per day. Then the load got a little bit heavier, so it was every other day. It's getting to the point where he is getting a lot older now, and in himself he is a lot more interactive with both myself and my partner and the world around him. Now this is obviously a good thing because it means he's progressing and he's not having any issues as far as that's concerned, but it does mean that the time which I would usually have to myself in order to be able to record and give you a decent audio visual menage that's a terrible word. Menage, it's not even a word. It's like Nicki Minaj, isn't it? We'll ignore that anyway. I digress. Basically, the standard that I would like to adhere to is very difficult for me to do for one simple reason. I don't get a lot of time in the house to myself anymore. Once upon a time, before baby came along, my partner used to go to several different gym classes and running sessions a week, and it would allow me up to possibly 45 minutes to an hour pretty much every night throughout the week to record. Now since the little sprog's come along, that has been cut down considerably. Now I can only rely on having about a 45-minute recording each week now, and that's when my partner takes our son out to go and do the weekly shop, and then I can sit down and I get the house to myself. Now obviously there are times where I'm not doing anything other than being on the computer, but because I like my audio to be just so and not have any distractions around me, I can only do it when the house is empty. As far as the editing side is concerned, my son tends to go down at around sort of between on a good night at 7:30. On a bad night he can go down as late as 10:30, 11 o'clock. But even so, I tend to get a good hour and a half to myself on average per night where I can do things but I can't record. So as far as the editing is concerned, I've got plenty of time to do that. Now why am I mentioning all this? Well, I do have a plan going into the future, and I have spoken to the partner about sorting out a bit of extra time for me. Now it's not going to be a lot. I'm going to get roughly an extra 2 hours per fortnight, because every other week my sprog goes off to his grandmother's, which is my partner's mom, and my partner, instead of meeting her mom at her work on a Thursday, she's now going to drive to another town about 20-25 minutes away to go and feed him, bathe him there, have a bath herself because we only got a shower in hours, and bring him back. So that's going to free me up about 2 hours per fortnight. So I should be able to give you at least a couple episodes per week on average now. But this is something which isn't kicking in just yet, and the reason I'm putting this video out right now is because I've run out of buffer videos. All the videos which I've been able to record when my partner's been out during the summer on long periods, I've basically said, look, no, I'm staying home, I'm doing recording. If I'm not needed, I haven't gone. But now it's getting to the autumn, and obviously we're going to be progressing on to winter time. I can't expect her to go out and walk around the streets whilst I record, as much as I'd like her to, so I can get the space. But hey ho, it's not a viable option. So right now, as it stands, I'm looking at doing the two series which are continuing. Now, when I say two series, unbeknownst to you, I've actually finished recording the Sleepy Sunday Let's Play. There are 2 episodes left of Icy. One which should follow, I'm planning on putting this out on a Saturday. So one which is following tomorrow and one which will follow the week after. But after that, Sleepy Sunday Let's Plays will be put on hiatus for the time being. But it's been a good run. We've completed the story. The game ends naturally, so it's not like I'm cutting it off. So that would leave me the Curious Expedition and RimWorld. Now, RimWorld is just going to carry on and on and on until something happens. Either we're going to die atrociously or we're going to get whoever's left off the planet, and that's how I'm going to see the end of that. It's quite an easy one to record. It's an even easier one to edit. For some reason, when I render that video, it can do a 20-25 minute video in about 60 seconds, whereas when I render my other videos, be it Curious Expedition or whatever else, it tends to render in real time. Excuse me, in real time. So I lose my computer for 25 minutes to half an hour at a time, at times, which can be a bit awkward, but RimWorld's very good. I know it drags, but that's the nature of the beast when it comes to RimWorld. I'm not one to edit down the dull parts of RimWorld, simply because although I have the time to edit, I don't have the time to record. So in order to get the video out every week, it's something which I need to throw up pretty raw. Although, as it stands, at least one interesting thing generally happens per episode anyway. So, before I go any further into this, I have recorded a bit of footage of me getting home tonight, the night I'm recording this, and just showing you the state of my life and how small a house I live in and how I've got nowhere else to record. So I think now would be a good time to sort of cut into that bit of footage. So over to you, Past Padge.
Thank you, Padge. Now, I just want to give you an idea of the state that my house is in on a daily basis since we've had Jacob, and just to show you really that I have literally no other place I can record. So my computer screen will zoom out. You can see it's still on. That's my mic. It's still on the arm attached to the table, which now has several baby drinks canisters and a wobbly dobbly thing on. We have the tractor ready to set up to push along our very small hallway, and then on the other side of the front room, this is it. This is my front room, my dining room, everything. And generally speaking, it's a bit warm at the moment. Generally speaking, it's chaos. There's my computer back there, along with my Fitbit or cheap variation of, and a baby's tablet, so we can occupy him on long journeys. And literally, this is my recording space. This has always been my recording space for the past 2.5 years. But before, we didn't have the loudness of a baby around. So the girlfriend had a lot of different classes she used to go to and used to give me a lot of time to go and record. But right now, this is it. I mean, as you can see, there's no space whatsoever. Toys everywhere. Toys everywhere. Nice big TV there. Keeps the missus occupied. His pen, which he kind of sees as a baby jail at the moment. But sure enough, he just get put in there when he plays up, and we can't control him. Look, I've got toys hanging. I've got toys hanging and balls, and in here we had his christening about a week and a half ago, and just more toys. Now, I would have probably used the conservatory to record in, but it's a bit echoey, and I am a bit of a stickler when it comes to the sounds on my videos. I'm not one to watch other people's videos if they've got really bad audio, so that's why I try and make mine as best as I can. But as you can see, there's no space, and more importantly, there's no power. So I've got nowhere to baby bin. I've got nowhere to plug in my computer at all anyway. As it stands right now, I don't know if you saw that, we've got a washer. Well, it's not a washer, it's a dryer in there, because we just don't have enough time in the day to hang stuff out on this to dry all our clothes these days. I had to buy that, and it is being charged by that extension lead, which goes behind the cabinet there, and through the window, which we've got just there, because I presume the conservatory was an add-on to the house after it was bought. And can you see my barbecue out there? We're looking at having a warm weekend this weekend, so I'm hoping to use it one last time before we put it away. And so yeah, this is it. Well, we're going to the hallway. The hallway, relatively clean, but let's face it, you need this to be able to get through. We've got that's to keep the. Gonna sneeze. Excuse me. That's to keep the draft off. It's a bit of a drafty door. Again, I don't think the door's been replaced since the place was built. But that's my front room. That's literally it. That's my entire downstairs. So I just don't have any space. It breaks my heart. We are looking at saving up. Well, we have saved quite a bit of money, and hopefully this time next year we'll be in a decent position. Lots of this close. In a decent position to be able to buy our own house. At which point I am looking at having not so much a man cave, but at least an office of some sort where I can go and do my hobbying out the way. I'm sure, because I'm recording separate to what I'm going to do my audio on with my talking and trucking video, that I've already explained that I don't have a lot of time. Kermit! I don't have a lot of time to record, but I do have quite a bit of time to edit. But there's always sounds and distractions going on when I am editing. Times like this, where it's absolutely quiet and the house is empty, is very few and far between these days. But hey, he's got his pirate room. That worked out pretty well. I mean, look, pirate bunting and everything. Oh, he couldn't be happier. He can be happy. If only he slept up here more. That's my suit. We're going to a wedding this weekend. So yeah, that's his room. And this would have been what I would class as an office. This was a spare bedroom before, but now this is where he sleeps. This is Jacob's domain. Eagle piggle. So yeah, those actually turn on and give them a bit of night light, which is pretty cool when the cloud noise is too big. And then other than that, we've got a very dark bathroom. I'm not going to go too much into there. And our bedroom. And that is it. That is how small our house is. And why I struggle to be able to do regular recordings. I can't force my girlfriend, or my partner should I say now, and my son out just so I can record. It's a bit of a selfish endeavour. Went to Orlando a few years ago. 6 years ago that was, for my 30th. Jeez, Land's End a couple of times, through the ages. But yeah, that's it. So at this point, I shall sign off and hand you back to Padge, probably driving a truck very badly.
So, where do we go from here? Well, the reason I'm recording this video right now is to let you know exactly what's going to be happening in the near future, i.e. the next 2 to 3 weeks. After that, there is a pattern of things I'd like to be getting up to scratch with. How that pans out in the near future, I don't know. If it works, fantastic. If it doesn't, then I'll have to reassess. But unbeknownst to you, I think I mentioned it a little bit in the video when I'm walking around the house. My son was christened, thankfully, eventually, about a week and a half ago, and that was the last big thing hanging over our heads to get done since he's been born. That's all over and done with, and it's something which I promised to myself and to my partner and ultimately to Jacob about making a video for him describing the way he came into this world. Now, if you're old to this channel, you would have heard the story already. If not, I'd adhere you to go and check out my blog. There should be a link up on my banner. I might if I can remember, put a link into this just so you can go and have a look. But it's a pretty interesting story, and it's something which I wanted to give a visual sort of guide to, one for a better word, and it's a tribute to my son and all the media sensation which he was when he was born. And just something he can go back and look at and say, oh, like that's how it was it? Fair enough. I can understand why you're a little bit eccentric now. But this is something which I've been collecting a lot of pictures for, and I just need to put it together. And it's a big video. It is a very big video. I think it's going to be at least 20 minutes, 25 minutes long, and I'm doing a lot of cutting to pictures and videos and whatnot, and it's monopolizing a lot of my editing time at the moment, and I'm still not done. Now, it's something which I wanted to get done by the christening, but that's been and gone. So I am concentrating purely now on doing the video for my son, which I will be uploading to this YouTube channel once it's done. And then once that is done, in the meantime, I should say, I will be carrying on with RimWorld and the Curious Expedition. But once I finish the Curious Expedition, if I haven't finished my video, then I'm not going to be recording anything else other than RimWorld to do release once per week until this big video is done. However, once that big video is done, I think the only way I can guarantee semi-regular content is to record a video of a game which I know pretty well, i.e. the Curious Expedition. As it stands, we've got quite a few mods left to play. So I'm going to be doing a series of the Curious Expedition with whatever character mod I choose to play with at the time. I'm then going to come back with a couple of Padge Plays episodes with Indy, Yolo and all the rest that I've done before, just to break up me playing the Curious Expedition. I may also follow that along with another look at Project Zomboid, a game which is very close to my heart and has moved on quite considerably since I last played it, although it's still not quite where I'd like it to be and able to do a proper serious playthrough of that game. But even so, it might be worth a check-in and having a look at that. But on top of all that, what I want to be doing is creating more big edited videos of, well, opinion pieces, if you will. Now, when I originally restarted my YouTube channel, like 3.5 years ago now, I opened up with a heavy edited opinion piece on loving games and my love for gaming. If you would like to check it out, I will put a link down below. But that took me a long time to do, but I'm very proud of it. And that was something which I wanted to be able to do on a more regular occurrence. But as it stood, it does pain you when you put a lot of time and effort into something for it not to get seen. And because I had roughly about 100 subs, which were very, very old subs from when I did my YouTube channel back in 2012, before that, no one watched it. So I felt a bit begrudged to spend so much time doing stuff if I had no audience to do it. Whereas obviously I've grown quite a bit since then. So it'd be nice to have a big video. So this is the plan going forward. You will be getting the Curious Expedition once, possibly twice a week, along with RimWorld once a week for the foreseeable future. On top of that, I'm going to be working on my son's video. After that, you can expect, hopefully, touching wood, hence my head here, you can expect one big video per month, which I will be releasing either, well, because last days of months change, let's say the first of every month. Over the first couple of days of the month, you'll get a big video. I've got a few ideas lined up already. Recording the audio isn't an issue once I've written it up. And again, writing that script up is something I can do in my own time. I don't have to have a quiet house in order to be able to write a script up, much like the blogs I've been doing. And then I can record it and do the editing when chaos ensues in my house. I can just crack on with it and it won't affect me doing a big video. Now, this does mean that things are going to slow down. There's no getting about that. I'm hoping this is a compromise between me being able to do all the different Let's Plays I used to do, because I did used to love doing my 2 regular Let's Plays and my Padge Play series all at the same time, but I simply can't do it. I'm hoping to be able to come back to this when I get my own house, which will be roughly this time next year. Hopefully I'll get some sort of study, and then I can leave the missus in the front room, the boy will be up in bed, and I can go to my own little corner of the house and do my recording and play whatever games I want to and do whatever editing I want to there and then. But as you saw by the video I've recorded beforehand, it's just not a viable option at the moment. It's not about putting other people in my life out, which I don't really want to be doing. So that's it really. This is a bit of a long one. Usually I try and keep these pretty short, but this is going on like almost 15, 16, 17 minutes. So I'm going to stop here. So as I said, you won't see an immediate change. You may notice a few blips in the system where I don't upload on certain days when I would usually upload certain things. I'm not going anywhere. It's just that things are going to be slowing down for the foreseeable future. If I were to have to make the big decision to stop doing YouTube, or at least stop uploading weekly, like 1 or 2 per week at the very least, then I will do you the courtesy of letting you know that. But as it stands right now, things will start to slow down, as I said, for the foreseeable future. So, until we meet again, thank you for watching. As always, a like is appreciated, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take it easy.